Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the CommanderSmiths at patreon.com. Welcome to the CommanderSmiths.
Oh, we're the CommanderSmith.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Am I scaring you yet? Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know about it. We're cousins. Yeah. I'm not sure about scary, but it's looks like you look like a penis with ears. So I can't wait until I go bald. That's happening.
All right. This is a special Halloween crazy episode where we're gonna do Halloween stuff, right?
No, I mean I'm Hulk. I am.
Oh,
but
well, we're doing something that's pretty scary. We're talking about scary counterspells. You know.
Yes, we totally planned that too.
They're the worst. Renshai is here. You weren't supposed to be here, buddy. You had a fantabulous date I think you were supposed to be on or something like that.
Know. I just heard he was going to be busy.
Yeah, you know, he's going to be busy.
Busy.
Oh, good for you.
Okay. So happy Halloween, everybody. It is episode 245. We are doing a couple things today. Guess what, everybody? Malort is back. It is back.
I got shivers before you said anything about it.
And Lowery, why don't you tell us what video you came across and this brilliant idea that we're going to be doing today?
Oh yeah, go to bed, Renchai. Okay, so I randomly ran across a short video. This person was doing Guinness and Malort, and
we'll have to tag that video in this and
I guess we're gonna do that too. I think that had Bailey's in it as well. We're not doing Bailey's.
No.
We're not just gonna buy fucking.
He's
making money off. Yeah, of that. We are making money,
kind of, but not as much as he is with his stuff.
Yeah.
But it was he called it a Chicago instead of an Irish car bomb. It was an Irish or a Chicago car bomb is what he was calling it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do is it a shot in a can of Guinness? I have Guinness.
Yep. Well, I got a bottle of Guinness. I couldn't find a can. So that is
how many ounces is that?
It is
11. We're not doing the hot pepper one.
11.2.
All right, mine's 14.9.
Okay. Well, my cup isn't going to be able to hold the whole thing, so
okay.
I'll be able to hold this, but
mine is. I came prepared.
Well, dude, it was like crazy to get this. We were a little late because it was just like insane.
I asked my wife to get this. I was like, I need this for tonight. I don't know.
So we owe 3 Malort shots, and
we do.
Are we kind of doing that in replace? This is replacement for that 3, right?
Are we putting 3 shots into
no,
it?
Hell no. Like it's 1 shot into that, right? And then I don't know. This was the text messaging that I was hoping that you would respond to me on today, and that was the one thing you didn't talk to me back on.
That's true. I think a shot is worth what it is. I don't think that covers 3.
Oh, you don't? So
I don't think so.
So you think those are going to be separate ones?
I think it could maybe be 1.5. So like we'd have to do 2 of them to equal 3.
Oh God.
I'd be okay with that. We also need the Black Horizon and Josh to pipe in and see what they're the ones that were giving us money. So not mummies. That's a Halloween joke. We have to say that.
I'm gonna start pouring my Guinness right now because
okay.
But here's like an on-air production type thing. We have talked about it a little bit when we saw each other this week. Do we want this to be a thing that people can buy a drink that we mix with Malort and we the next week?
As long as we can prepare, like say which one it is,
right?
Because I don't want to go out and buy like a liter of vodka for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or
well, no,
whatever.
You're not buying a liter of vodka because it's being replaced by Malort.
Right. I don't want them to be like mix Malort and vodka. No, that's what I don't want.
I think we would do what that dude is doing, which by the way followed him because it was pretty funny. But he did basically funny. Every known drink, he would replace the liquor part with Malort and then record himself drinking it. Like he did a Jello shot with Malort and just crazy stuff. And the one that you sent was hilarious.
Not what I want happening. But heavy whipping cream, a liter of cola. Like I don't want any of this. I mean, it's probably fine. I don't want to drink a whole liter of cola. I got gout here. Come on.
Okay, so that is the Guinness. My Guinness is ready. Now it's just ready for the Malort.
Are you gonna like drop in a shot?
I was gonna pour it. I was gonna pour it and then pour it into the cup. And then use my finger to mix it around. I mean, I'm noticing I'm looking down at you and covering my face. So I need to kind of look up a little bit more here. So we're talking so much because I'm nervous about doing this.
That is exactly what's happening.
So I'm going to finish off the little bit of bottle that I had left from the Malort that before. By the way, what we're talking about today for the main segment is Off Color Counterspells. So we're going to talk about why they aren't as hated as regular counterspells and why counterspells are hated so much. So kind of a little discussion there. We also have a new Stump the Smiths Savant. This week's stumper is arc_chaos15.
All right.
And we have the Galaxy Foil. I've just cracked open the fresh bottle of Malort and it's cold. Oh God, Larry.
This is not freshest is the bestest.
I had it cold so that I wasn't drinking. Oh my God. Why are we doing? Okay. So I'm going to pour this in. I'm mixing mine right now.
Yeah.
So Malort, this, I don't need, did we decide is this just one? Oh, there it goes. It's in there. I can see it mixing at the bottom. So that tells you right there.
You already poured it in?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can get this on.
Oh, man. I don't know about this. And this is going to be our drink for a while. Oh, this is a bad idea.
I think that's the bad part is like a shot might be the easiest.
Yeah, just boom, you're done. So to give people an idea, so that little bit left that I had in this bottle, there was a little bit more. And we had a neighbor Halloween party this weekend. It's been Halloween basically since Friday. I've had something going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday we have Halloween.
Right.
So I talked about it. Like they're asking, oh, how's the podcast going? I'm like, oh, blah, blah. We're doing this Malort. We whore ourselves out for Malort. That's what we do. We get money to drink Malort. And they're like, how bad is it? I was like, it's the worst fucking shot I've ever had. They're like, it can't be that bad. I was like, I'm going to my house and I'm getting it. And so only one person was willing to take it. They all smelled it and they're like, it smells like nail polish remover. This smells disgusting.
It's not that bad of a smell. Honestly.
And so the dude, I am not kidding. This is the shot. Here's the shot. That where the curve kind of goes to the going up. That's as much as I gave him. Like that's as much. Put it in his mouth.
Put it in my mouth.
And he was like a newbie at taking a blowjob. He spit it all over the place. It was just, and I was like, anybody else? Nope, no one took it. He's like, I can't. It's not getting out of my mouth. I know. It was like, it coats your mouth. It doesn't go away. He's like, this is the worst thing I've ever had.
It is.
And we're about to do it again.
Are we doing this?
All right,
are we cheersing?
Who is this to? Is this to both Josh and Black Horizon?
I think we at least do two of these.
2 of the beers with this mix or 2 shots later? Like,
well, I think this counts at least like 1.5. But if we're just doing shots, then it's 1, in my opinion.
All right. Well, let's taste it first. If it's not as bad, because maybe our ratio is not as bad. Cheers, Lowery.
Right. Well, I got almost 15 ounces here. Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Josh and or
here we go.
Black Horizon. All right.
That's not bad. I taste more Guinness. Oh, but you can taste the aftertaste.
Yep.
It's coming. It's coming.
Wow.
That's weird. That same dude did the same thing in the video. He was like,
yep.
we might have something here. And I was like, that's kind of, it's not horrible, but
I was about to offer up, like, maybe we should add that second shot in here. And then I'm like, I don't know if I do. I don't know if I want that.
I don't know if I can finish this whole beer. This is going to be, this is going to be a 1 beer episode for me. I do have my, pre-game Oktoberfest, although I'm like 4 beers deep because we had adult trick-or-treating. You know, we went along in the hayride and we had a cooler of Oktoberfest and people had Coors and all the adults had their candy. And God damn it, Lowery, how are we going to finish this beer?
Go as fast as you can. All right, I'll talk. All right, so we also have Staple versus. You need to start chugging. That's what this is. Staple versus is going to be Prismatic Omen, which is what I'm defending. And Adam has Chromatic Lantern, and I'm going to defeat him soundly in this, as long as he doesn't bring up the EDH rec numbers.
You got me.
I didn't even look. Yeah. I didn't want to. I saw mine. I saw what mine was.
This is one of the biggest lopsided EDH rec numbers. And I'm like, I didn't even look at it before I chose that I was going to take it. And then I started doing my notes after. I'm like, oh, I'll take Chromatic Lantern. And then I started writing it down. I was like, holy shit. We do have to also go through the totals from last week. So God damn it. This is a bad idea. This is a very bad idea. Why did we do this? I blame you, Lowery. This is your fault. Look what you made me do.
Yeah, it is. It's for sure my fault. I agree.
All right. So how was trick-or-treating tonight, buddy?
Oh, the kids loved it.
You got lots of candies?
Got, done about an hour beforehand, before little Lowery, but Elise was Minnie Mouse and Lowery was Pikachu, and this is gonna be a rough podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be really
how about yourself? The kids enjoy Halloween?
The lots are all 2.5 acre lots, and it's perfect that our neighbor has a hayride, a trailer that he actually put railings on, like built all these railings. He has a 4-wheeler, so he towed us. And this year, from last year we did it, we have an additional 3 new families added, so it was full of family. But we need that for the 2.5 acres, because it's not house after house after house. You have these big lots.
Oh, good for you.
And so
right. That's my fault.
Worked out good. There was about 5 kids that fell, so it was pretty sweet.
Like off?
No, just like, the kids, it's not, you don't walk up to the house. They are at full sprint with their bags and everything. And there was 5 of them as they're running up the driveway, spilling their candy everywhere, crying. Like at one point, Drake came down. He's like, everybody is falling everywhere. That was pretty good though. That was fun. That was good stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad. I love Halloween. It's my kid's favorite, probably holiday.
Come on.
And it's probably one of mine because I like scary stuff. I know you don't like scary stuff. So
I fucking hate it. I'm happy to be in the basement tonight.
Yeah.
It's scary
it's
out
too
there.
Scary.
I moved my car in the garage. I don't want to get egged.
Zeke had he has a werewolf costume that we knew would be too scary, and like one of their best buddies, he put it on and the kid got scared and kicked him in the nuts. He didn't like purposely kick, that was his reaction, to push with his hands and kick with his feet, and it hit Zeke in the nuts. And so that was
fight or flight reaction.
So that was when he was showing off the costume a few weeks ago. So now Cindy did some awesome face painting. Cindy's actually a really good artist with that, but she made a werewolf with makeup and stuff. So
very cool.
Yeah. Cool. So, all right. Fuck this goddamn drink. I haven't even been looking at the chat.
Wow, you're like nowhere there. I'm fucking chugging. That's what you need to do. Don't just sip it. Just
I don't like it.
Put it in your mouth.
In your motherfucking mouth. Okay, let's just get to stuff, I think, right? Don't you think so? Because we got stuff to do and things to do. Okay. You guys can become patrons, just like our new patron, Joshua Schmidt.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
By donating $1 or more, that gets you into the Discord, gets you chatting with everybody, gets you playing games, all that fun stuff. Thank you, Josh, for becoming a patron. As you move up, you could do a $5 patron that gets you proxies each month if you like. And the higher you move on the tiers, the foils you can pay. Oh my God. Did you see those foils of those?
The
Battle Bond ones, dude.
Gorgeous.
Those, and I know the dual lands were they were done by a 5th grader, but the dual lands were before this, the hardest ones I've worked on. These took me an hour a piece in the beginning. By the end, I was at
you're like combining the two symbols together.
Yeah. And so then what I did, and I don't know if you really looked at it close, but if the symbol was on the, like, you have half of the card is white, half the card is black, like if you're doing planes, whatever. If the symbol was on the white side, the white symbol part took over. So then the black one would just be inside the white lines, and then vice versa. On the white side going into the black side took over. So there was a lot of trying to figure out, and they had to get where the lines connected. And so then I tried to blend them all together. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of totally Very fucking cool. Worth it. Oh, wait, here we go. Let me show you. I got it.
Thanks, Paul.
Look at this one. Look at this one right here. Actually, these two are my favorite.
Off.
That is, come on, focus. It's blurry there, but that is your Vault of Champions. So that's the black-white one. And then my wife's favorite was the Morphic Pool, which is that one. Is the little skull thing. So they turned out freaking fantastic, especially in foil.
Yeah.
Did. Yeah. So that is some of the perks that you guys can get as you move up in the patron levels. Another way you guys can support the show is by joining us on the live stuff, making us drink this awful Malort shots, jelly beans. Any donations are welcome. So if you don't want to become a patron, which I highly recommend, if you're already donating money to us on the live stuff, just donate $1 and get in on the Discord, because then holy shit, you're done with that already. And I still have to keep talking. I'll drink mine when you're doing Stump the Smith Savant. So that is, if you're already donating on the live stuff, jump on the Discord. At the very least, do $1, so you're at least chatting with us and all that stuff and playing games. So that's another thing that we do as part of the Discord stuff. I think that's it for the Patreon stuff. So the other way you guys can support the show besides financially, you can just jump on YouTube, subscribe. We gained a lot of subscribers last week. We're getting really close to 1,000, our goal for subscribers. So if you're listening to this and you have a YouTube account, which everybody pretty much has a YouTube account, and you aren't subscribed to us, just jump on there and subscribe. Get us there, guys. Once we get to 900, we'll start announcing what we're going to do for the big prize. But once we hit 1,000, we will give out a big prize there. But there's a lot of things. Not only are you helping us out, but there's a lot of videos that you guys can see. Curated MTG is a video that happens twice a week. It happens on Mondays. It happens on Fridays. What was our Monday today? Curated MTG, Lowery.
Druid's Repository, which is a green enchantment for whenever you attack with a creature, as many creatures as you attack with, you put that many counters on that enchantment, and then you can remove however many amount of counters from repository, and you get 1 mana of any color that you so choose. And it's a fantastic card in like Edric, Najila, Wolfgar doubles the amount of counters that are going on it. It's a really cool enchantment that is great mana ramp in those aggressive green decks, and I highly suggest checking it out.
Yeah, so the biggest thing with the curated MTGs and any short that you guys see, for you guys to make that go CommanderSmith viral, all you have to do is watch it all the way through and give it a like. That's how you guys can make those suckers go viral. So we have the curated MTGs. I did do the proxies, showing off those last week as well. So all the proxies for the month. I think that's the way that I'm going to do it from now on. That was your suggestion, and I think it's a fantastic idea of just showing off the proxies once they're done in the foil form.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of doing the proxy videos, because we want to focus more on the other videos that we do. So we have spotlight stuff where we talk about our decks that we built. So there is Switcheroo, which you did last week. You built 4 different commander or switched in, upgraded them pretty much. Do you remember what they were off the top of your head?
Hinata, Mike and Will.
Will, yeah. It was the assassin one, wasn't it? One of that.
Oh yeah, Calcian. Yep. Calcian, I feel like is looking pretty good right now again.
And then you had. I was on that stream. I was watching you. I was watching you while I was doing shit. Your spotlight or your switcheroo was
Refine.
Oh yeah, refine. So those videos. Also, I did part 2 of braids last night, so I finished that up.
How'd that go?
Pretty good. I cut cards that I didn't want to cut. The normal.
Yeah.
I hate cutting cards, and that's just what it did at the end. But it worked out pretty good. It was under 2 hours, which is what I wanted to do. The first half was 2 hours. Second half, I got crap. They said Lowery would have been done with this deck by now. That was Renshai being Renshai.
Well,
and I said, you are correct. Lowery is better at letting go of cards. And I'm like, I love every one of them. So, but yeah, spotlight decks. We have a lot of those on there. We also have the Discord games, like I mentioned, battle boxes, box openings. I did the proxies, secret layer breakpoints, which really, those aren't separate videos now. We've just kind of combined them with the podcast. And I think that's it. God, we have a lot of shit that happens on YouTube. So biggest thing is
do a lot.
Freaking follow us on YouTube, because then you're going to get to see all this content that we create each week, which is multiple times a week. And then you can also check us out on Twitter, Discord Ultralight. That is where we will post all this stuff. Do we even really want to promote Twitter anymore? Because no, I'm just kidding. Our numbers just go down. Like, all it is like we get a boost. We get a boost when we break the record for most downloads for the month. And then it slowly goes back to what those numbers were. It's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, it is a way to interact with us if you're not a part of the Discord. You can kind of message us there, but really I feel like we're getting more interaction with our, like, on YouTube and on TikTok. Oh,
we do
TikTok as well. You guys can check out TikTok. We have that going. So that is Twitter. You can direct message us there, or you can direct message us by shooting us email at CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. And that is where you can send the suggestions for this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show.
I know what it is. I just don't know the name.
I had to write a note.
That's a fair button after I lose.
I had to write a note to myself to remind me to play that button instead of the other button.
Yeah. I mean, I got close. I knew it. I just didn't know anything about it.
It's funny because when you miss, it's that exact thing. You pretty much know what the card is, you just don't know the name. Like that's what it is.
The only ones that I haven't known are like those Battle Bond basic lands. Where I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck those are.
You mean the Jumpstart ones?
Yeah, Jumpstart.
Yeah.
Those things. See, I didn't even know where they're from. Jumpstart's stupid.
All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowery is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he is considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. Today's stumper is, like I mentioned before, Arc Chaos 15. The card has to be in at least 5,000 EDH rec decks. If Lowery can get everything about the card but can't get what the name is, I know what the card is, I just don't know the name, he will get the initials of the card. If he still has a clue left over at that point, he will get a bonus clue that will reveal the card. Probably, for the most part, should reveal the card or help. It's just a little bit of a bonus. I have eliminated the chat on our YouTube feed so everybody else can play along and see if they can guess it before. We do not have Renshai tonight. He checked in and checked out early because he has other things going on.
All right. Jackal Lightning Bolt.
So, yeah, we already got our Jackal. No one else did Lightning Bolt yet. So, here we go. If heaven has placed it in your hands, it means that the throne is destined to be yours. If heaven has placed it in your hands, it means the throne is destined to be yours. All right, down the hatch.
Wow. That's... Did you down that?
No.
You still have... Okay.
Oh, it's so gross. Why does this thing a thing?
That's a super good one. I don't think I've ever heard it. I don't think it gives enough away.
Paul said, someone else will have to Google it because they're accusing Red Shy of
I don't know if you can Google the flavor text of cards anyway. I've never tried.
I haven't either. I'm sure you could. Oh,
maybe. That's a really good one. What's his name? Chaos?
Arc Chaos 15.
I'll just call him Chaos. I'm not going to
Chaos
thing. All right. So, like, a throne could potentially mean like an artifact, but also like heaven potentially puts it into the white category. And there like other red doesn't really have it like that. I would say that it's either a white or colorless. Is this color identity? Nice job.
Ugh.
Is this white and or colorless?
Wrong.
Both of them? Wow. You hit that button really quick too.
Sorry, the Malort made me do it.
Clue, please. I'll take a first clue, please.
The art features a decorative dragon on top of a cube that has a base of symbols. The art features a decorative dragon on top of a cube that has a base of symbols. No one is getting it in the chat because we don't have our Renshai making his Google guesses.
Is it Imperial Seal?
Hello, booby.
You got it. Dang. You got it. Dang. I was trying to make that really I was just like, okay, it's a cube. Like I didn't want to do a stamp. I was trying to damn. How did you
I had no idea what was on top of it. I just went with my gut, like first instinct of cube and symbols.
Yeah. So I was trying to make it. I was like, do I say it's a square? And I didn't want to say
that's
Chinese.
Not a square. That's
I know
a cube.
it's a cube. And I was like, I don't want to say Chinese symbols, so we're just gonna say symbols. And then there's the dragon on top and all that stuff. Well,
I still can't see a dragon there.
It's right here. See his dragon head right there? Right at the top.
Not really. Yeah,
and he's swirled around on top of it.
I would have never seen that. And I don't own the card in real life either. That's a really good choice though, because if Imperial Seal wasn't just reprinted,
you probably wouldn't.
I never think about the card because it's so darn expensive, and I don't own it, and so like you are probably about 4 months off. I probably would not have gotten this 4 months ago.
Well, to give you
because I wouldn't
the
have cared about the card.
This suggestion was done back in April. it was probably.
Oh, was it?
It was probably before 4 months ago.
Been a while.
Actually, I looked at it. It was one of our older suggestions. I did pull this.
Okay.
Welcome to
shit, not that one. I didn't mean that. I meant this.
Oh, good for you.
I did pull this one in the foil, full art, and all that stuff. Flart. Good job, buddy. Flart. Yeah, I was going to do the text features a delayed answer for almost anything at a cost for life. And then how many decks this is in? 41,000 EDH rec decks, and I figured this part was going to give it away. It was first printed in Portal 3 Kingdoms. I was like, that's probably the giveaway.
That would have been a dead giveaway.
But the funny thing is, it is most seen. It really isn't in a lot of decks. Like I mean, it's in a lot of decks, but it's all partner decks.
Tutor. Yeah.
It's all freaking partner decks.
And okay, so like the big thing is like, I don't think you were totally wrong about going with like the visual aspect of it. But like the Portal 3 Kingdom would have been a really hard giveaway, like a strong giveaway. I just went gut. I did not actually know it, but I just went gut like cube. It was essentially cube.
Right.
And that's the only thing that popped into my head.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like I said before, is I a lot of times will write out clues, and then as I do I gauge how you're doing. If you're doing really well and you have a good idea, then I'll cut out things where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to give away this much. But if I feel like you are completely fucking lost, then I would say Portal 3 Kingdoms. You know, it would have been like, I might have cut that.
I think Black Horizon has a really good point too. Like, I've already had a lot of like alcohol in my system at this point, and that boosts me, because he's saying you have to do more Malort to fill the time now.
I guess, you know, each week we're going to have to do a Malort Guinness to start off the cast, just to get you in the mood.
Because I've had a Guinness, a shot of Malort, and I'm almost done with my pre-game beer, which is normally like it leads into. So that means I'm probably a beer ahead of the game than I normally am, and so I think that's where I'm at.
If you're saying that one that we just drank was one shot, I guess that means
but that's a shot in a beer, and so like
always pays his debts.
You can't hear it because I can't hear when I play.
I see the bit.
Yeah,
I see the bit, and it's probably echoing on my side at this point.
No, I don't. If you can hear it, that means it'll be echoing. So that's it. But when you see the little thing, Lowery, does that mean we have to take a shot? Then is that what you're trying to say? We owe 3.
Yeah, probably. I'm okay if we're doing a shot. If we're doing like another shot in the Guinness, then I'd say 2, and then we're good.
Oh,
but we don't have either of. Oh no, Black Horizon is on, but I don't know if he's do it.
If I mean, we would be done. Do you have another Guinness?
I do. Do you?
I do. Do you want to do one? Oh, that was horrible. Do you want to? I'm so apprehensive about doing it.
Let's do it.
Do you want to do another Guinness with that, or just a shot?
It's definitely different.
It doesn't taste
I'm
good.
not going to say that it's worse or better.
It's worse.
It's just a lot more
than the shot. Yes.
Yeah. It's definitely worse than a regular Guinness. I agree.
Yeah, Guinness is not going to start promoting, hey, it's Guinness infused with Malort because it's better now. Yeah. No, it's not. It's significantly worse.
I think the big thing is just like the more alcohol content part.
Well, Guinness is already kind of a low alcohol content thing. It's, I think, 4%.
Like smooth and sweet.
I think it's a 4% alcohol.
Is this what we're doing? Or do we want to do it like at the beginning? That's what we're doing.
Well,
until we're out of Guinness.
We have Black Horizon on here. Josh already kind of gave you the thumbs up when you asked about it on Discord. So Black Horizon, this is up to you.
But he might have been thinking that Bailey's was involved with the.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
it was like chunky on that video. I think they used the Bailey's. I don't.
Or we could do 2 shots. We can do shots. 2 shots. He's not trying to kill us. I'd like to hear the rest of the podcast.
I'm not trying to kill you guys.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Okay, think of the shots.
All right, let's do the shots. We haven't done.
Let's do a shot.
We haven't done.
And then if we regret that, then I don't know.
Well, if you're saying it's a shot, it's a what and a half.
Shot and a half. Well, because the beer is worth at least a half shot, right?
Well, the way you drank it like it was a shot. You chugged that.
No, MF. You just talk a lot. I was taking my opportunities.
That's a good point. Touche. Oh God! You know what we should do? Did you throw away your empty bottle of Malort?
No.
Okay, we should have a wall of the amount of the Malorts that we've finished. Actually, just hit me now.
I still have a little bit of my second bottle.
I didn't share with anybody besides the little bit that I just gave to my neighbor and my wife. That's about it. How did I?
I just might be. I try and have a little bit of a sliver, as you can see at the top. I don't know if that's...
I left it because now I'm realizing that mine's even bigger.
I don't know if yours is bigger than mine.
Maybe I'm drinking this in my sleep.
We don't need to compare or contrast on bigger. But I just I don't know. Like, I just know that I have a little bit of a shaky hand. I probably have Parkinson's like my dad coming up here in the next 20 years.
Come
so
wow,
that was a fucking downer.
God damn it. Where's the button? Where's the wah 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 button? God damn it. I don't even have it sitting on the... Although I do. That was depressing. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you ready?
Cheers. All right, Black Horizon, this is for you, buddy. Boop.
Yeah, yep. Thank you.
Oh my...
Oh, that's worse.
God,
that's way worse.
It's the worst shot ever.
Right? It's so bad.
This is what happens when you take like a month off from taking this bullshit.
So bad.
It is the worst fucking shot in the world. It is by far... you can take dirty shots. Yes, those can get worse. By itself, this is the worst liquor that has ever been made. Like, probably people know of more.
It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks, and that's just like,
damn it,
awful.
This sucks so bad.
So like having it in a Guinness makes it better.
Yes, it does. It does. But the mix of Guinness so much
like
worse.
It's coating my tongue right now. I can.
Oh, that was the funny thing.
It takes longer to drink it.
I know I mentioned it, but the funny thing is, the neighbor that spit it out, he tried to drink his beer and he's like, I can't taste my beer. Right. It's all in my mouth. I was like, you didn't even take a full shot. I was like, that's what it does. It like coats your whole fucking face.
Right. That's what we need to do. Next SmithCon, except for instead of everybody doing it at once, we have to just video people doing it and their reactions.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we got a lot of hits off of you taking the concrete mixer, but the Malort.
Oh my God,
that is really bad.
All right, so that's 2.
Do one more mid. I'm disappointed.
Happy Halloween.
This is
it's just on the tongue. God.
That's what she said? I don't know. All right. So Arc Chaos 15, you can send us a signed Imperial Seal.
Imperial Seal. Just a basic land.
Lowery doesn't have an Imperial Seal, so you will make him a very happy person.
That would be fantastic. If you did that, I mean, I'm willing to trade for a cheaper version. If you have a beat up Imperial Seal that you want to sign, I'll send you something.
Malort.
Well.
Malort.
I'll send you a whole bottle of Malort.
Did you mention to the liquor store owner by chance to be like, hey, keep stocking these up because we're going to keep buying them? Like, no?
Yeah. I did the first time. This time was I had the kids with me and I was just like, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Yeah. Grab the 2. I had Elise in my hand. I was like, Lowery, get away from in the middle. You need to be in the middle, please.
Were you also looking at people being like, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I have my kids in here.
No, I didn't have enough time. I was just eyes only on Malort and Lowery. And
it's the first time they've ever seen anybody do that going to that liquor store.
And I'm like, I get out of the aisle, I look behind, Lowery's drifting to the right, and I'm like, don't touch anything. He's like, I know. And I'm like, and then once he got out, I was like, okay, pay for it, out. And I complimented him, like, thank you so much for not touching anything. He's like, I know, I did a good job. Right?
Thanks, Dad.
Yes, you did.
It was great to see you guys this week, by the way. The boys had a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
With everything.
A lot of fun. We didn't even say that. We had Perkins. That was fantastic.
We went to Perkins.
We were there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we were. It's funny because we got in the car and Cindy, because you said it, you're like, Perkins, no matter what, is a 2-hour ordeal.
Oh, that was Kirsten.
Oh, that was Kirsten. Yeah. And Cindy got in the car. She's like, yep, they were right. It was 2 hours. It was actually like 1:45, but close enough to 2 hours. It was fucking ridiculous. Yeah. But it was good. We got our own little section basically away from everybody. They saw we had 4 kids and they're like, all right, we're putting them off by themselves.
Put them in the extra room, the party room.
Yeah.
The party from KDWB.
That's what I was going to do. The party zone. Only people from Minnesota and the Twin Cities know what we're talking about there.
I guarantee you every state has some stupid pop song like the party zone that just does like a DJ version of all the songs and they cut it out early so you're pissed off.
But then it's a mix of something that you know. All right, we should get to the goddamn episode. All right, so what are we talking about? We're doing we don't have a button.
What?
We don't have a button.
All right. Here you go, AJ.
I don't want a relationship. I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang bang bang.
Oh, off chance. Did you see what I uploaded to the drive? I did some more Lowery.
I didn't.
Potential buttons.
Oh, I'm writing a note to myself.
All right.
Check drive. I'm sure all
you
guys.
I think that's the better bit.
All right. Perfect. I didn't even know you did that. That's awesome. All right. So we have not Imperial Seal. Let's I don't know. Let's just get to counterspells.
Counterspells.
The worst card.
The thing is like
made.
I know that we have a big issue with counterspell in general. Blue dominates that category by far.
Yep.
And
we did that breakdown like in the last year. We did the breakdown of all that stuff, right? Where we were, was that last year? It's almost probably a year where we did like
what?
That's where we determined that white was the next best color.
Oh, for counterspells? That might have been 2 years ago. It was a summer deal though. Yeah.
Wasn't it? Where we broke it down for trying to figure out what the best color was, remember? And then we did the stat stuff. Wasn't that last fall? Whatever.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Remember we counted everything and you counted all the count. Like we broke it all down and we're like, all right, this is the best color, whatever. Anyways. Okay. So go ahead. Keep going.
What did we come up with? Green was the best, right? Green, black, blue.
Remember? No, I think it was black. No,
I don't think so.
Did we do a bias to do green? And then it was black. It might have been green, black, and then I think white jumped blue. Because remember there was that little controversy of that stuff.
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe. Red was by far the worst.
Red Elemental Blast for life. That's on the list, buddy. It's on the list here.
And so the thing is like you play against a blue deck and you're just like, fuck, there's going to be counterspells. There's going to be counterspells. And I think we've had plenty of conversations on counterspells.
Yes.
We've had the problem with counterspell.
Mm-hmm.
That's years ago at this point. We have discussed off color counterspells, and that might have been 2 summers ago when we were doing off color bits.
When we actually like picked said what cards you could use for those off color.
Yep. Yeah. And we'll talk about a few of them as well. But like, why is it when you sit down with a blue player and you're just like, God damn them? It's as bad as, it's just like, I know they have Cyclonic Rift. I know they have multiple counterspells.
It's just like if you're playing a green player, you know they have Crater of Behemoth.
Right. And that's not even true though. Like that part, like if I sit down with a green player, I'm going like, okay, which green deck are they playing?
Yeah.
But when it's a blue player, it's like you have counterspells,
yeah.
You have Rift, and then what else is your deck doing? But I know that you're going to do your best to control the table. And that's like so blue has such a negative connotation because of counterspells.
Yeah.
Because why? Versus like there's potentially enough counterspells out there that are off color, like in white or in red.
There really isn't a lot. To be honest, there isn't a lot because I was going through to try to figure out the best ones for each color, and I forgot that we really don't have a lot with the other colors.
I guess for me though, like I personally consider something like to Furious Protection, or the green one,
Heroic Intervention.
Thank you. I consider those counterspells,
right? In a way,
and you have enough of those, like in white, that's like this gets indestructible, or there's hexproof or shroud, or when you instant speed stop somebody's spot removal, or
right,
when you're able to instantly stop them and it fizzles that card that they're playing, I would consider that a counterspell. So it's a much broader term in that sense.
Yeah. So here, when I was kind of coming up with my notes of this today, here was kind of my thoughts with everything. With blue, it's exactly with what you were saying just now, is when you're going against a blue player, you're constantly looking at their mana base. You're trying to see, okay, they have 2 blue open. Okay, so they're going to counter. They have a counter. They have this. You have this thought that no matter what you do, they do have a counter spell. Your shit is going to get countered. And so when it gets countered, you're just like, well, I knew that was going to happen. And it's this negative thing. Whereas when you get countered by, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of different blue aspects where counter spells in blue. But when you get countered by an off color where you're not expecting it, it's almost like that whole gif of the touche, you got me. It was like, whoa, I was not expecting that good one. That happens with the reason why this whole topic started is because you got Tibalt's trickery multiple times with red.
Yeah.
Not expecting that at all. It's red, you're not thinking that was going to happen. And so it was more of like the surprise factor was like, oh, that's good. I like that you did that. Not that I like that you did that, but it was like not expected. Whereas with blue, it's like, all right, you're going to counter this. No, it's almost smothering tithe-ish, where it's like, you're going to pay 2
or
for
Risk
that.
Study, or
you're going to do this. It's like you're playing a blue player. And so it's this constant, like, all right.
I think that's a really good point of he's sitting down and them having that, like, they don't even have to have anything. Like that's part of the gamesmanship and the playing, and just going like, yeah, I'll let that pass.
Yeah.
And like they could just do that.
So
they
much.
have that. They might not even be in a counterspell deck, and they have that power to just be like, hold on. Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
Like, give me a second.
And the funny thing is I don't even know half the time if they fucking have anything. It's just being a blue player dick and just going,
right.
Wait. You're doing something awesome. Let me just take a little bit of your control away from you. I'll allow it.
Yeah. Yep. And all it does is it like gives you that question, like, shit, could they stop that?
All right.
How do we do that? And I think that can add a interesting bit into the game of like, okay, do I need to bait out these counter spells?
Right.
Can I get other people to do more powerful things if I play something that's not, it's just a piece, but not like, holy shit, that's a piece.
It is a big part of the game, because if I'm playing a blue player and they have the mana up, if I see 2 blue, then I'm like, okay, counterspell is activated potentially. Do I feel they have it? If they do, how do I bait it out to get what I really want to get out? So it's that whole, what you were just saying, play something that's threatening enough to count. So there's a whole game plan against counterspell players. And so I think that's what happens with, I don't even know where I want to go with that. It's just, I don't know. I think the Malort's getting to my head now at this point.
There's been a lot of good comments.
I know there's a lot right there
in the section. Like, counterspells just kind of get people going. I totally agree. And so one thing that I noticed that Black Horizon was saying was like, oh shit, what did he say? It was a really good point.
Which one? Because I can see back.
Oh, it's considered their removal. It's considered their protection. And so you just have more of those in there. And I get that, right? That's kind of the point, though, is that their counterspells can do everything,
right,
as long as that card's on the stack.
Right.
And that was our conversation with the problem with counterspells is that they can handle everything as long as it's happening right now.
Right.
And if you have enough of those, you can always handle everything.
Right.
Any big play you can handle because blue has enough of those. And when you're looking at your off-color counterparts of essentially red and kind of white, and that's about it when it comes to actual counterspells, not necessarily counting what I was considering with those other two. But like those are the only two.
There really
and
isn't
the
a
red
lot
ones
with the
hate
others.
mostly on blue.
Yeah.
Like Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast. And those two are very good counterspells, but they're narrow. And I think that's another part that why off color is better, because they're narrow.
Yes.
So blue counterspells are just broad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because there's so many blue counterspells where it's, I mean, but one of the things I would say is sometimes what I'm fine with the blue counterspells, and we've talked about this before too, is like where it isn't just like what we're seeing here with counterspell. Like one of the things that you have used in the past, and I still like to this day, is Arcane Denial, because it gives almost a benefit, to you're countering, but you're also giving that person a draw. I'll just pull it up really quick so people that are
I don't actually. There are certain cards where I just don't have a problem with it. I'm okay with Arcane Denial. I think it's super fair.
Counter target spell. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep, and then you also draw a card. So it's replacing your counter in a way. I dig this one. You've done it to me before. When you've done this to me was when we were in 60 cards. It wasn't in Commander. But when you've countered it, it's like, oh, well, that sucks. That spell was really good. That's what my plan was, and it wasted my turn. But now, when I say go, I'm drawing 2 cards. You're getting, as 1v1, so you're drawing 2 cards as well. It doesn't feel as bad, The stipulations where it's just a counter spell really kind of suck. How do you feel? I guess in a way, I want to get back to the off counter stuff, but I really wanted to touch on some of these blue counter spells. What do you feel about the force of will, where somebody's having to discard a blue card to counter spell?
I would say free spells are technically an issue in all frames of it. Mm-hmm. When you're able to do something when you're fully tapped out, I think that's an issue to a degree, right?
But I have been saying that I like those lately because then it kind of puts a little bit more of, because they gave it to all the colors. So I guess the reason why I like it more is because
they gave it to all the colors with force of will, but all of the other ones were really bad in comparison.
Well, kind of, because you have deflecting SWAT, which is really
no. When it comes to force of will has a cycle.
Right.
Is
yes. The force of
bounty of the hunt that puts 2
the old school
plus
shit.
2 plus 1 2 counters on them, and then they're removed at the end of the turn. Or contagion. Those aren't good compared to force of will. And so if you have a respectable cycle,
the cycle makers of that round was a blue player, is what that was.
It wasn't. I mean, I think it was.
Everybody else was fair or bad, and then this was completely overblown. Awesome.
Because I think the red one was best at the time, which is divide 4 damage any which way.
Yeah.
But the red and the white one were really bad for Pact of Negation. But I like Pact of Negation to a degree.
Whoa, that was a big sneeze.
That was me sneezing. Did you hear it? Sorry, I tried to mute that.
Heard the mute button and the So okay. So I want
Pact of Negation is more narrow. That's a non-creature spell that you're countering. Like I that's at least more narrow. Like I like negate a lot more than I like counterspell.
Right. Because it's situational. You're somebody's tapped out, then it actually works. Yes, I agree. Another thing I wanted to add in was, how do you feel about the counter spells like Mana Drain or Spell Swindle, where you're Larry's dying, where you're getting it's almost like it's a ramp card more than a counter spell in a way. Mana Drain isn't. Mana Drain's just fucking ridiculous. Well, let's focus on
never cast Mana Drain.
Spell Swindle. I actually haven't either. But Spell Swindle, how do you feel about like a card like that?
Fine with that. It's 5 mana. That's later in the game, and you have to hold up a lot. Like, you need to actually not do much.
Yeah. And then my last thing was like, how do you feel about like mode counterspell, like Cryptic Command or Sublime Epiphany? Like those I feel are fine, because it's like you're trying to hit all these other things. A lot of times it's the other modes you want to be able to get
like
those.
I'm fine with like Epiphany. It has a high enough CMC. Cryptic has the 3 blue pips, so that lowers the amount of decks it can go in.
It's not Sublime Epiphany. It's what is it? It's or is it Sublime Epiphany?
I think it's Sublime Epiphany.
And I should have been, no, it's not Sublime. And maybe I just spelled Epiphany wrong. Oh, and I didn't even have LIM. And that's what happens when you can't see.
You're drunk.
That might be another thing. All right. So it's counter target spell. Yeah. Love this card. Like, this was one of you loved this from the beginning, that this one got spoiled. And then I jumped on board. This is the only probably counter spell I use because of let's see, the tokens and return stuff, but then it's adding the counter spell on top.
But again, this is something that I wish had a cycle from this set, because this is really cool and it's expensive and it's powerful. And I wish every color got something similar to that.
Yeah.
Like going with off color though, I think it's just nice and narrow. And
what I'm kind of
sorry, go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say what I'm disappointed with is we got Tibalt's Trickery, and I wish we got something similar, like you're saying with this, something like that for each color, doing a counter thing.
That could have been fun. I mean, flavor wise, it was for Tibalt, and I'm fine if they.
But we really don't have good counter spells in the other colors.
No, we don't.
I mean, you have Monetize, you have Pyroblast.
Here's a question: should they be putting more counter spells in the other colors?
Okay. So let me pull up Tibalt's really quick. Tibalt's Trickery.
I think counter spells and interaction on the stack shouldn't solely be
a blue thing. Right. I like this. I know there's a lot of words. Tibalt's Trickery, counter target spell, choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. It's controller mills, blah, 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 blah. I think if you did something like this where it's fun and not just straightforward, where it's like counter spell, like white, tap 2 and a white counter target spell. If you did something that fit each color and did a counter spell, I wouldn't mind that. You know, it's kind of a fun, unique, different thing to do. Or it's just straightforward counter spell.
There is a blue card from Rise of Eldrazi. I just can't remember the name of it right now, but it's like counter target spell if you have the most creatures. And it's blue colorless, and it's like that could easily be a green counter spell.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right. Because flavorfully, like they care about creatures. Blue doesn't.
Right.
And so like if you could do a white counter spell as counter target spell if you control less land than that player.
Or
like
life,
they love doing that stuff.
Or life stuff because it life.
Yeah. Yep. If you have more life, counter target spell.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like those are things that they could potentially do to bleed into other colors, because we've seen them bleed into other colors with ramp, with like treasures. Everybody gets to ramp now with treasures, which is cool. And it's its own little thing. And like red has much more of the treasures. For some reason, green gets more of that just because it's ramp. But I think if you can give everybody a little bit of interaction on the stack, I think that's important.
So Black Horizon is saying the problem though is those colors already have removal, but blue also has removal in a way. It's more of like bounce effects, you know, so it has its own type of removal. Blue almost has, you know, it has the draw effects. It has a lot. We did that episode, but blue did not end up at the top. The counterspell, what Lowery was mentioning before, is counterspell is an answer for everything. Like, that's the tough part is, yeah, these other colors have removal, but they're specific to like destroy target creature, or, you know, black does not destroy enchantments very well. White does really well at removing artifacts and enchantments, and so does red, green, whatever. You know, each one has their like strengths and weaknesses, but they each have like a little bit of each, except for counterspell. Tibalt's Trickery is our newest card that kind of bleeds into what blue's thing was, and I think it's a good thing. Like, I think I don't like counterspells, but Tibalt's doesn't bug me as much as 2 blue mana counter target spell. Tibalt's just feels like it's like that Chaos Warp thing where, yeah, you're killing my creature, but I might get into something else, or, you know, it's not necessarily killing it. You're hitting something else. It doesn't feel as bad as somebody just removing my creature from the game or removing this from the game. So adding more of that into the other colors, I think would be really cool and interesting. What might happen though is, because they don't have them, I mean, red has the most for counters because it's Tibalt's Pyroblast, but those are focused on blue. Red
R&B.
Elemental Blast. And then you have white has Monotithe. What else was white? What's Rebuff the Wicked?
Memory Lapse or Lapse of Certainty.
Yeah, and then you have green has Life Force and Avoid Fate. Black really had Death Grip, which is against green, which is specific.
Right. There is a like counter target summon spell in black.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning that on the chat there too. So yeah. I think to get kind of
here's something that I want to address. Like BG is saying counterspell answers anything at a tempo loss and carded disadvantage. The thing is like tempo can be considered in a bunch of different ways, right? Tempo, like, I'm not playing this spell, so I could potentially counterspell something, right? It's not that big of a deal if you don't necessarily have something to do with that mana, so it's not really like a tempo loss at that part. And also, it's not a tempo loss because oftentimes it's not a fair like mana trade.
Right.
If you're paying those 2 mana, because nobody plays 4 mana plus counterspells very often.
Right.
And so like there are different
like
types
2
of
to
tempo.
3 typically.
Yep. And so if you're countering something that's 6+ for 2 to 3 mana, that is a tempo positive play for you. And so it just depends on if you're sitting on that counterspell forever and you're leaving that mana open forever, then yes, over time you're going to be taking a tempo loss. But you know, it's not really a card disadvantage. Like, it's 1-for-1. That's what's happening.
But yeah, like you
pointed out, like there's plenty of card advantage in blue. You could even, you know, Ristic Study, draw a card, draw into a counterspell, use it. I don't think there's as big of a difference, because when we're talking about like blue, it's able to answer anything, kind of like Chaos Warp. But Chaos Warp and Tibalt's Trickery give you something for it.
Or in return. The example of Arcane Denial, which is why I don't mind that one, because it's giving the player that gets
it's
countered.
A replacement for it.
Right. Whereas just the straight up counter spell. And BG, I know you're a blue player. I get it. Number 2 is the same way. Number 2, if he was on here right now, would be going crazy too with it. Not that you're going crazy, right. But you know what I'm saying? Like blue players, they love the counter spells. That's the different player aspect with stuff. Like it's just, it's a different kind of thing. And we're not hating on blue players because the thing is like counters do save you. Like, I mean, there's a lot of games where I'm like, please, one of you blue players have a counter spell because I never
do. I just accept the fate.
Yeah,
we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand we need you blue players, but you have to understand why there's this, this backlash that might come into it. And that's not the point of this episode. It's just saying maybe we need more counter spells like this in the off colors, because when Tibalt's Trickery happens, it's happened to you multiple times. Renshai's done it to you, and it's awesome. Like, it's a talker. Like, that's what you talk about. You don't talk about, oh, remember that time I countered that Cyclonic Rift or that Crater of Behemoth? Like, but when a Tibalt's Trickery happens, it stays because it's something that's unique and it doesn't happen very often. And that's why I think they do need to expand it a little bit more. We do need each color to have, because each color does have its thing. Each color has their draw. Each color has their removal.
Here's the thing is like blue, we're saying that like red can't deal with enchantments. We're saying that black can't deal with enchantments and artifacts. We're saying that green can't interact on the stack. White can't do anything. And then blue can deal with everything as long as it's timed properly.
White is good. White is good.
White can deal with enchantments and artifacts, but not kind of creatures with their mass removal. Okay. White's a really good, color. But like, I think the big thing is like being able to interact on the stack solely in blue is problematic. And with so many options, like when you're saying there's not that many things when it comes to the other colors, you really are saying like red is the best color when it comes to anything other than blue. And the red ones, when you look at like CEDH lists, it's like, we've said it, Pyroblast, REB, Tibalt's Trickery, and what else is there?
There isn't.
And so is the appropriate amount of counterspells maybe so that like if you're in a blue casual, I'm not gonna say anything to competitive, but casually don't have more than probably 4 or 5 counterspells in your deck.
Yeah.
Is that if you're mono blue, I think that's a little bit different. But if you have other colors, kind of rely on those other colors. And so like if you're always able to counter that spell, that means you have enough counter spells in your deck, which might be something that you want to back off on.
Solitaire is not fun. It's meant to be by yourself. And we're not okay. I don't want people that are blue players to get really pissed off.
Yes, we do. Watch this. Hate it. We'll get more interaction and more views. Maybe.
Just don't thumb it down. Just thumb it up and then still write us mean.
Yeah. Thumb it up your ass.
No, but
I just
think though how much fun it would be to have eaten. I shouldn't say fun, but if each color had its different, not just one. We don't want just Tibalt's Trickery. We want 3 counters for each color that do interesting things for what that color does. So you add the counter in it and just give it its little spin, its little slice of this is what green does, this is what white does, this is what black does. Just give it a little bit more instead of just being counters as blue, because the thing that happens is it's like number 2's shirt. His shirt just says nope. That's all it says, is because it's like, do you want to play Magic?
Great gameplay.
Nope. I mean, that's not Magic. That's Solitaire. And so to spread the love. Oh, wow. We got a big long comment. you gotta do it in like just a sentence or two, but we got some blue players there. Oh shit.
Wow. I love Mystic Confluence, BG. Totally agree.
I'll read Black Horizons. There's probably something to say if you have counterspells, you should have a lot of card draw too, so that you can make up for the card advantage loss. And then said, which means you're deploying less threats. And then you saw BG's comments there. Mystic Confluence, one of my favorite spells. Interact with a stack, but I use it to draw 3 more often than anything else. So I that was one of the other points I did put on there, and that was the Cryptic Command thing, where it was the modes and all that stuff, being able to do different things with that. I don't know. Right. Was there more?
I think the options, because if you put this later on in the game, like when you're talking about those 5 and 6 mana counter spells, like that can do other things, I'm okay with that because you are leaving that much mana open. And again, like treasures kind of allow for that to be easier nowadays than the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's still acceptable to just like have those. But there were like Dismiss used to be a good counterspell back in the day, which is like 2 blue, 2 colorless, counter target spell, draw a card. That was in a world championship deck, like 4 of. And it's like, that's not very good anymore.
Right.
But it'd still be good in like a casual setting. Or like a very casual setting, but it's still not bad. To whereas like
you could translate
if you had a 4 mana removal spell for just creatures that drew you a card in black or white, that's probably not very good.
Remember when
because it's so much more narrow.
You remember when Desert Twister was when we used
6 mana, destroy target permanent? Yeah. Yeah. I played that. It's a great effect on our 60 card decks. Yeah. I remember you high-fiving me for playing that card. Like that was bad.
I high-five. Yeah, it's terrible now.
It's bad.
I would say
like Jake threw down a Thraxamundar, like wiped the board, attacked me, and then I was like, Desert Twister. And you're like, hell yeah. I was like, now I'm like, that was not.
Why did I have that in my deck? Yeah, right.
But it was not good.
Right.
Right. And maybe that's a thing. It's like, just because it's something that you can do doesn't mean that it's like on par with counterspells. Tibalt's Trickery is not as good as counterspell at 2 blue.
Right.
It's not. But it's still the best thing you can do outside of blue, beyond Teferi's Protection, Heroic Intervention.
Yep. I agree.
So I think if Wizards can develop more ways to interact on the stack, I think that'd be really good. It doesn't have to be counterspells, but I think it'd be really good if they could develop more of that.
More of like deflecting SWAT type things.
It doesn't even have to be protection though.
No, but I mean, deflecting like, SWAT isn't protection. It's just changing the where the target is,
Yeah. You could do, like white has those cards that like you can't attack or you can't cast a spell or, a certain type of spell. Those are kind of like counter spells in a way, but you only have like 2 to 3 of those types of things.
Right.
And like silence, so if you have maybe white is allowed to do that a lot more because you're doing that without knowing if they're going to attack or if they have spells in their hand. That's way worse.
Right.
Because harder to deal with.
If they've already cast it, you can't respond to it by casting that because they've already cast it.
You're blindly going, you can't do this turn if you wanted to.
1v1 that's good, but when you're in a 4-player game you're not responding to anything, you're just trying to stop what the person that you think is going to be doing something, most likely the blue player.
So again, white could get a lot more help in that regard.
Yeah, I agree
when it comes to that thing. And so I think I would like to see more on theme counterspells for different colors.
Black Horizon is asking. Oh, I put Avoid Fate. That was the one that I use for the thumbnail. So Avoid Fate is
I'm indifferent on it. It's hardly worth it.
Yeah, counter target instant or aura spell that targets a permanent. I don't play this at all in any deck. Did I freeze you, Lowery? Damn it. Are we doing 2 weeks of Lowery freezing? Lowery, come back. Damn it. You know the big problem with this is if Lowery is frozen and he isn't back, I have to pee so bad that we have to finish the rest of this. And we still have a shot to do and all that fun stuff. And this week we aren't getting a swear from Lowery. Because last week we knew when Lowery was freezing, when his computer was crashing, because he gave us a big, am I frozen? Fuck! All right, so, yep, he left there. He'll be back in a second. Oh, man. The fun thing is like, my computer, oh, he's coming back right here. Same day, different problem, Lowery. No, not same day. Different day, same problem. Can you hear me now? You have an angry face. No, he's not back, guys. White version and this were good. Blacksmith. So one thing I was going to mention to Lowery before too was, you know, we don't like using the counters as much and we don't like using tutors. So one thing I'm fine with is when people use, I guess, Diabolic Tutor, which is the 4 one because it's a 4-drop. Diabolic. Let me just pull that one up. Tutor.
I just got reprinted.
Oh, hey, you're back.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Diabol. B-O-L. Was it a similar thing of last week?
No,
or
it isn't. No. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Sweet.
So what I was just about bringing up is how would you feel about like this tutor compared to a like vampiric tutor or demonic tutor?
Oh yeah, this is totally fair
because it's 4.
Like, people don't play it,
right?
But
they do, but not in our group. But EDH rec numbers, a lot of people play it because it's in a lot of shit. It's in Commander decks all over the place.
The only the only deck I would play Diabolic Tutor in is like Kalia to get like a dragon or Angel Demon into my hand to put into play directly at that point in time with Kalia. Yeah. That's the only deck I've ever been like, I should put this in there because I need more tutors. And I didn't ever actually play it against you guys because you had the deck. So yeah, like the more mana that things cost, the worse that they get.
And they're more accepted.
Yeah, more acceptable for sure. For sure.
Okay, let's do this. I think that's a wrap for the segment, right? Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you had the little error thing. Do we do? We have to finish our last shot. Whew. Let me do the button really quick, and I'm gonna get my shot ready.
We know.
A Smith
always pays his debts.
Next to another, we know.
Oh, son of a bitch. This is gonna suck. And Lowery, we cannot argue this one long. As I mentioned when you were gone, the pee meter is way up there, so I'm gonna have to pee. I'm gonna have to pee.
No, I totally gotta pee.
It's like this is gonna be a quick staple versus, and
I'm gonna finish that off as well, just for unless it's like bigger than I think, but that doesn't normally happen. Normally these glasses make things closer than they appear.
Did you already pour yours? All right, there we go. All right, buddy. Cheers. And this is to who? This is to who?
I will say this is to Josh this time.
Josh. All right. Oh,
thanks so much.
Fuck. Oh, man. It's been like over a month since we've done this.
All right. See how much is actually left in there. Okay. Oh, that's more than I want, but I'm going to finish this bottle just for free. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh shit! Look at that.
That's like a third of a shot.
Getting drunk on Halloween with Malort.
I'm just looking at it. I don't want to do anything with this.
Cheers. Gross. You're disgusting. Why would you do that? All right.
You took an extra shot last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. All right, let's hit it. Staple versus, where are you? There it is.
Round 1.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
Staple versus. I know we have to talk about last week. So we had Staple versus last week, and we had Bear Umbra versus Sword of Feast and Famine. Lowery, you are on the lie detector. What would you have gone with, and why?
Shoot, this would be really hard. But but I would go Sword of Feast and Famine.
Okay, so
but like 55-45.
The numbers were
okay.
Not that.
Oh no.
The only way that you can
60-40, just so I can feel better. 60-40.
The only way that this, because YouTube has kind of been blowing up with voting lately, which thank you guys for voting on YouTube. YouTube by itself would have done the totals 10 times over, but it was 82% for Feast and Famine, and
wow,
fuck the rest of everybody else. Twitter, Discord, you guys don't even need to vote because YouTube took it over at 82 with over 100 votes for
wow.
Yeah, so that
thank you on YouTube for
you guys have been killing it the last couple weeks with everything.
I feel like I'm a sub right now.
Let me get my crown on here. God, my bladder is so full with everything right now.
Right.
Lowery, why don't you tell us what we're doing
totally agree.
For this? And we're going to do this one quick because we got to pee, both of us.
All right. Prismatic Omen is a green enchantment. 1 and a green. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types.
Cool.
It's a cool card.
Cool.
Go with yours.
I have Chromatic Lantern. It is an artifact. It is 3 colorless to come out.
Yep.
And lands you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color. And also, it taps to add 1 mana of any color as well.
I think if we want to frame this situationally, it has to be a green deck, right?
No, it does not. Because why would you play Prismatic Omen in just a green deck?
No. It has to be green, right?
Oh.
It's that same bit, but it more than likely has to be 3+ colors.
Okay, yeah. It's got to be. That's what I wrote down. I was like, it has to be a multicolor deck. You're not just playing this in just a green deck. It has to be. Yeah. I think 3+ is a good number for both of our sakes. For both of our arguments' sakes.
Right. If we're making this argument, and this is where we're like, hey. I either want Prismatic Omen or Chromatic Lantern. It's probably 3+ colors, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. What do you think is best? I'll let you make your argument first because I think it's weaker.
Mine is an 149,000 EDH rec deck. Prismatic Omen is in 7,000 EDH rec decks.
I thank you for rounding up.
Yeah, I did. I round up.
I know you did. I know I did. I don't know.
I rest my case. No, just kidding. I need to do that one of these
You're
weeks.
A terrible lawyer.
Mine is colorless. So if we are playing 3 colors, mine is pretty easy to get out there.
Easier to cast.
Yep, easier to cast.
I can agree with that. Mine is cheaper to cast.
Sure.
To state obvious things like you are, if that's what we're doing.
But yours
mine's cheaper. Mine's come down a turn earlier.
Does yours tap for mana?
It's no, does yours survive artifact hate?
Does yours survive enchantment hate?
Which nobody plays.
You have mentioned it is the most killed thing in Commander before.
When I'm trying to win an argument. Yes, I do state that. But right now, that's not what I'm stating. It's artifacts that are the easiest to remove beyond.
So Prismatic Omen, when you consider on our blueprint of our deck building,
yep,
where does this fit in? Like, does that fit in like a spot? Because Chromatic Lantern fits in Monoramp. That's a 3-drop mono-rock. Like that fits. Yours is like, is it a pet card? I guess
it's a fixing.
But we don't have that category.
It's like when you're at Thanksgiving, you're like, Chromatic Lantern isn't quite the turkey, but it's like mashed potatoes, right?
Oh,
you love that
get the fuck out of here! You lose, sir. You lose. Mine is the gravy.
Lantern is.
Mine is the gravy. It covers
Prismatic
everything.
Omen's like the cranberry sauce. That's
It's
like not everybody likes it.
Have you ever had cranberry sauce and then drank milk? It's disgusting.
Nobody. What? Why would you? Yeah, you don't do acids with a base.
It's really fucking weird.
You not understand?
I love milk.
Chemistry.
But then not after
chemistry. I learned that in like 8th grade.
Well, I'm not on the right button.
Oh, good for you.
That was. All right, fine. Suburb school. Look, the thing
Black
is
Horizon,
that Prismatic Omen.
Are you playing CDH here? Because turn 2, the most common turn for fixing Prismatic Omen wins.
We're going after black here. All right. Turn 3 is too late. Agreed. What a quote right there. Turn 3 is too late. It's too slow
because
it's too
yada. You're yada. Yeah, that isn't anything. So you cast Prismatic. You cast Prismatic Omen right on turn 2.
Right.
Yep. You're doing what after that turn? Nothing, right? Because you just tapped your mana.
What do you mean after that turn? Like turn 3? I'm casting whatever I want.
So
probably a Chromatic Lantern.
You're casting
because that's how I draw things. What?
You cast Prismatic Omen. You're not doing anything that turn, right?
What do you mean?
I cast Chromatic Lantern.
Chromatic Omen.
Yeah, mix them together. I can tap this for more mana. All my shit taps for mana. Like even things that I didn't. Well, yours also does.
No, just your lands tap for mana, not all your shit.
Well,
what are you doing?
About? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to attack you for your slips in your vocabulary.
Well, I've been drinking Malort. Thank you.
Right. I have also been drinking Malort. So look, I get that it is the only playable 3-mana ramp in artifact form.
What?
Yes.
What
do you mean? What? Name another 3-mana artifact ramp that you would play.
The one that was from the Dungeons and Dragons one. Oh wait, you would fail that one because it's
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, flavor text.
Don't know what you're talking about.
It gives you any color, and then your hand is unlimited. I was building with braids.
What?
It's the horn one.
Oh, it's new.
Yeah, it's new. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna remember because it's fucking Dungeons and Dragons.
Nah, it's okay.
No, it's good.
No, it's not good. I'd rather play the Thought Vessel version of it. 2 mana get you colorless. I'd rather play that.
We're not doing staple verses with those two right now. Let's focus.
I agree. That's why I wouldn't play Chromatic Lantern either.
Larry, put that on the notes for staple verses.
Right there.
Those two, because one does the colorless and the other one does the color.
No, I disagree.
Well, I'll tell you this: in braids, I cut the one that I just talked about, and I kept the other one.
All right. So I'm gonna shoot my shot here.
All right.
Look, I did actual notes for the first time for staple verses.
Is because here's the thing is, I told Cindy I was like, oh yeah, I got to do this and this and this and that, and getting prepped and all that, and she's like, what does Lowery get ready? Because I was telling her that I had to get ready for the stump, and I was like, well, the main segment, and then he wings the. I was like, sometimes he writes notes, but most of the time he doesn't for staple verses. He just is devil's advocate. She's like, that makes sense. Because Lowery's very good at devil's advocate. Like, yeah.
All right.
He doesn't need notes. Actually, I said that Lowery has a very good what is it? Stump the Smith Savant knowledge.
Off the cuff.
All right.
That's what I generally do. It's very frustrating to do political arguments with me. So that's why I want to point out some cards that are
equal
really
with
cool.
that.
Here's what I want to say is that I think Prismatic Omen is the cooler card because there are plenty of cards of where land types matter.
Sup, bro?
And I don't know.
It's cool. Sup, bro?
What? Okay. Let's bring out the biggest card where you'd be like, oh shit, that'd be awesome there.
Girls, if you want it free virtual
we got our
in
sex
city.
Chat. We got our sex chat people. There we go.
Woo, woo.
Free vert girls chat in you city. All right. All right.
They don't even have grammar right. Come on, gang.
I know. Come on.
I didn't even say gang. I said gang.
The biggest one that I think that would be awesome is Cabal Coffers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need Urborg. I mean, they go in the same deck, but it helps them out. But there's also, like, if it's a land type matters and you have a handful of cards that in there that work with it, Prismatic Omen is a solid card to choose. It is a $20 card, in which I understand why Commander cards.
You're wanting people to spend more?
Right. I do. And I accept that.
Tisk.
It's because of Modern and Valakut, because when Valakut comes into play, stop. You can't overshadow. No.
Sorry.
Yeah, so Valakut counts. So when you get to 6 mana and Valakut counts itself,
how often do you see that
every
happen?
basic land type?
So wait, we're talking red. So now we're getting specific that it's a green red.
No. I'm just saying it is in general a very good card. When you're talking about Chromatic Lantern, you can be in anything, and I'm saying Prismatic Omen could be in anything. See that? Yours could be, mine could be. And so you have there's a hedge mage cycle from Shadow.
Your biggest thing is when you go combo with it, like where you want cards to be unbanned. Like
how about this really cool thing? It would turn your Gaia's Cradle into all of the basic lands, and with an Arbor Elf, which is played, could untap it because it's a forest. Untap that cradle.
Oh,
boom.
So we're situational. We have 3 cards we're depending on right now, right?
Yes. Check lands come into play. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, untapped. What happens with a Chromatic Lantern? Depends on how good your
I love that all your arguments are depending on other cards instead of just the 2 cards we're talking about.
I'm still talking.
You've made notes.
High
I'm sorry.
Doubles the mana of everything you have. Bubbling Muck, same thing for the
Could you at least use the same color? Could you use the same color?
We can do anything. I don't have to choose green things.
I know, because I can do anything. That's why I kept
the amount of mana from swamps, and they're all swamps.
BG,
off of a
get that fucking
Omen.
shit out of here with the Team Forest Walk. It's Team
I'm not
Urza's
sure if
Saga.
I remember that card. Do you remember Dread Presence at all?
Hey, Renshai made it back at the end here.
That a boy.
He made it back for the free girls in your city. That's perfect.
What?
That's what he said.
Hey,
you know what? I
don't know what Dread Presence is. Oh, no, I do. It's a horror. Whenever a swamp comes into play, you draw a card or yada yada. And boom, that affects it.
It's funny because you had to make, even though I did have it in my notes that color, this is probably a multicolor because I thought it was going to help me. You had to make sure that multicolor was known because every one of your examples was not a green example.
Right. Yep.
All right. I got you.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm trying to
Chromatic.
I know
Chromatic
those green cards are good. Because
Chromatic could be in a 2-color deck.
Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. And that's why
this
Forest
is
better. We've already talked about Forest being awesome. And so we're talking about the other ones. Doubling mana
also
with
sucks
Crypt
with
Gas,
Prismatic
Bubbling
Omen?
Muck, High Tide.
Can I
Wall
give you one
Coffers.
thing? Is if
That's crazy.
If somebody else is playing Yavimaya Cradle of Growth and they have Forest Walk, oh shit, you're dead. What? Team
What are you
Forest
talking
Walk.
about? Nobody plays Forest Walk.
Oh,
are you gonna play Ojanen
Team Forest Walk? You lose, sir. You lose. Team Forest Walk. I don't change my lands to every basic land type. I don't get fucking rolled over by your decks or every Team Forest Walk hashtag your crew. My shit fucking stays shit. Yeah, I'm swearing a lot now.
But artifacts are artifacts are the easiest removed. Like Chromatic Lantern goes away like that. One Vanablast gone. Can you name an artifact removal spell that people play would remove the Omen?
You meant enchantment. It's fine.
Yep, I did. What'd I say?
You said artifact.
I did mean enchantments. What enchantment removal are you like running to get rid of Omen?
We'll just get Beast Within. I'll get rid of that.
Is that what you would do that?
Yeah. All right. All right, let's end this because I got to pee really bad. You have to pee really bad.
I just hit that third level right there.
I'm gonna pee in my pants.
I got pee.
All right, guys. You guys can vote for this on YouTube on the community tab. You can vote for this on Twitter. It doesn't matter. You can vote for this on Discord. That doesn't matter because YouTube is the king of the voting. But you guys can vote there if you guys want. No, I'm just kidding. But you guys can vote all in those places. We'll announce the winners Friday. Friday is when we were doing the podcast again. So all you guys listening right now, listening later, we're doing it Friday because Mr. Lowery is going to Florida. He's going to be going on some vacation. So we're going to get
family trip.
So we're going to get that up and going Friday, 9 o'clock, right? That'll work. 9 o'clock. Yeah, man, we're good. Well, if
Friday,
it changes, we'll let you know. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for enduring the Malort stuff, and thanks for the counterspell discussion. We will check you guys in a couple days.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, where's the fucking end of the cast? Thank you. I know. God, I gotta pee. I
love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories.
Nope, not that one.
I love
there we go.
boobs.
Oh, that way. Well, shit.
Oh man, pee.
I'm drunk.
You got to keep that in the audio version.
Yeah, I will.